days later, they made funeral plans. The family. 3 days later, a mother had to bury her son.
Friend and the gun, that same gun. He fled immediately, but was identified by witnesses. His picture on TV, only 20 years old, they called him Grandpa. He was older than the others by a year, maybe two, and he was safe for a while until somebody saw him there and notified the authorities who surrounded the hotel, first arresting an accomplice while attempting to flee, then chasing him up the staircase to the floor where he'd stay. He closed the door hard behind him, locked himself in the room. They could have kicked in the door, but knew the gun was still with him, one he'd already used, and so they feared what he'd do. I floated up through the window on the room to the west. I hovered out to the hallway, tried to listen in. I heard them trying to reason, get him to open the door. His uncle begging and pleading, half collapsed to the floor. He preached of hope and forgiveness, said there is always a chance to rectify what you've taken, make your peace in the world. I thought to slip through the door, I could have entered the room. I felt the burden of murder and shook the earth to the core. Felt like the world was collapsing, then we heard him speak. Can I still get into heaven if I kill myself? Can I still get into heaven if I kill myself? Can I ever be forgiven cause I killed that kid? It was an accident, I swear it wasn't meant for him. And if I turn it on me, if I even it out, can I still get in, or will they send me to hell? Can I still get into heaven if I kill myself? I left the hotel behind, don't wanna know how it ends.
The song is for him. I see everything.
Morning of my junior year, I stumble in the classroom late, but this day I see faces I feel in there like a funeral, like a lake as I 'cause I can only